We're in the Basker Auditorium. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, I have the distinct honor of recognizing two new commissioners to the Josephine County Board of Commissioners. It's Commissioner Keith Heck and Cherryl Walker. Keith's in position 2 and Cheryl's in position 3, and I'm in position 1. So, first item on, and I have to say that we have a little bit of a turning of the page with Commissioners Haugen and Commissioners Reedy fulfilling the terms of their appointments, and that's all done, and they move on to retirement, probably again. So, the first item on the agenda is the administrative calendar. Actions in consideration of are item 1A, approval of order 2013-001 in the matter of an appointment of the chair and vice chair for the Board of Josephine County Commissioners for 2013 calendar year. There's an order attached. However, in order to prepare for that order, I think that we're going to do two things. We're going to open the floor for nominations for the chair, and then we'll close nominations, take an action on that, and then we'll open the floor for nominations for vice chair. Take an action on that, and then kind of solidify all that by putting those names in, and I'll entertain a motion for approval of Order 2013-001. So before we go that route, we always open the floor up for 3 minutes for public comment. Please state your name and address for the record, and you can speak on any subject. And we'll open it up now. Mr. Matthews. First to speak in 2013.
Thank you, Chairman Hare. So I was at your swearing-in ceremony yesterday and did the only videotaping of it that I'm aware of, and then also was able to provide that to the television stations over in Medford, all 3 network affiliates. So you ended up holding up your hand and swearing to always tell the truth and do the right things for Josephine County. Thank you. There would be an advantage, I believe, if people could see our meetings here, and there would be an advantage if people could see the meetings that are held in the Commissioner's boardroom. And probably also the airport board, and probably meetings having to do with public health and having to do with the animal shelter and etc. And you have a group now, as Simon Hare met them, the people that I recruited, to come forward and also help out with those kinds of things. And I would dare to say I think maybe even the Fords would help out with such a thing. They're here in the audience as well. And making sure that Josephine County has an alternate source to one radio station and one newspaper of information directly from you, directly to the people. And that would be Channel 14. Now we have still in our possession Channel 15, which is supposed to be cable Channel 15, and also on the internet, which is supposed to be for public access as well. And I have spoken with all of you briefly about the fact that I think that could be a real engine for production of shows about economic development. Working with the schools, working with disparate groups, some of them that come up to complain, some of them that come up to promote the general area, as long as we keep it non-commercial. And I have some solutions for that, and our group does as well. Now, you haven't all met the people that I'm working with because they're less likely to come together until they actually know things are happening, because they've heard this before. But we do have a solution to the one person only doing it. We do have a solution to who's going to review the television shows, because I've already gotten a commitment from the school saying we'll look over the television programs that are produced for economic development to make sure that they're not commercial in nature. And the church has said, a couple of churches I'm working with have said, we'll watch over the videos produced by the schools to make sure the students aren't doing anything inappropriate. I see this as a great opportunity to bring a lot of different groups together. Yes, to provide a place for both SORA and the Sierra, Sierra Club, to speak on their various issues about what they think about the environment. And they oppose each other. Okay, some of that's going to happen, but I believe if we hit it hard on economic development, that not only can we provide some training for students, and maybe even a new career for them in the future, but that we may be able to do some things with grants and et cetera. So I know that there's a controversy about where all the money is going to come from. I put in a suggestion to match that RVTV put in, but I think I have alternate sources of funding, and I would love to just sit down with you and talk about, here are the problems, and we can come up with some solutions.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews.
Any questions for me? I'm hoping there will be some later.
I think it's an appropriate opportunity to include you in a general discussion. You've made a request to the board, and we'll get that in the queue if it's appropriate. The full board feels so. Great. Noted. Fords? Anybody else? We're good to go. All right.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm looking for your hand.
Sorry.
This is your first time, I know.
Yeah. Larry Ford, 136
Okay,
Ferry Road, Grants Pass. First, I'd like to welcome the two new commissioners and wish you the best. I think you're going to find that it's very challenging, and I hope you're up to it. I think you are. Past that, here comes again some of our anti-environmentalist groups. They have now decided to challenge a logging site on the perimeter of the Crater Lake National Forest, and the only thing that they're doing is removing diseased and dead trees, and they're going to oppose that. So much for them working with the logging environment and the logging groups to have sustainable yield in some of our, to put on our jobs in our mills. Obviously, they're not going to do that. So I don't know the answer. Maybe it's time we sued them rather than them suing us. But something has to be done, because these folks are not going to allow any sort of logging anywhere in our county, probably more truthfully anywhere in the southern part of Oregon. And we have to start to oppose those type of motions. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board for action on the administrative calendar. So the floor is open for nominations for the position of chair for the Board of Josephine County Commissioners for 2013.
Commissioner Hare, I nominate Commissioner Hare, Simon Hare, to be chair of our commission for 2013.
Great. Any other nominations? Seeing none.
The nomination be closed. I'll
Nominations
second
are closed.
Commissioner Walker's nomination.
Appreciate that. I guess, so we'll call the roll on the motion, the nomination before the board for me to be the chair for 2013.
Commissioner Heck?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker?
Yes.
Commissioner Hare?
Yes. Motion carries 3-0. Floor is now open for nominations for vice chair.
And I would like to nominate Commissioner Walker to serve as the vice chair of the Josephine County Board of Commissioners.
Any other nominations? Technically, I'm supposed to say that 3 times, but I think there's just 3 of us, so we'll figure it out. I just realized that. Nominations are closed, and we'll take roll on that.
Commissioner Heck?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker?
Yes.
Commissioner Hare?
Yes, motion carries 3-0. So entertain a motion for approval of order number 2013 that reflects Commissioner Hare selected for the position of chair and Commissioner Walker selected for the position of vice chair.
Commissioner Hare, I
Just make a motion for approval.
make a motion to approve order 2013-001 for Simon Hare to be chair and Cherryl Walker to be vice chair.
Great. Is there a second?
And I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Commissioner Heck?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker?
Yes.
Commissioner Hare?
Yes, motion carries 3-0. Next, we have the consent calendar, which is item number 3. There's approval of various minutes. I'm going to request that we pull that from the consent calendar. I'm the only elected official that was on board at those meetings, and we're going to work out what's the appropriate way to make that approval of those. There's a land use hearing in that, and that's one of the biggest concerns I have with that being a semi-judicial action of approving those, because those are referred to LUBA at some point. But we have action item 3B, which could also stay on the calendar. If there's no objection to pulling item 3A, I'd like to do that.
No objection.
And then item 3B is the Special Transportation Advisory Committee appointments. It's under Resolution 2013-001. The names before us are Corey Viber, Artie Burkmeyer, Jim Bryson, Gail Ranius, Randy Samuelson, and those terms are those people are appointed to a 4-year term to expire January 9th, 2017. So if there's no objection, I think the consent calendar can just consist of that. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve Resolution 2013-001, nominating the Corey Bieber, Artie Burkmeyer, Jim Bryson, Gail Renius, and Randy Samuelson for the Special Transportation Advisory Committee
Great.
for 2013.
And I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
And I'm assuming that these 5 were all interviewed or cleared by the prior board?
They were.
Yeah.
They were reviewed by the transportation director.
Yeah.
And Transit's a little bit different than any other advisory board that we have. It's probably similar, we don't have a district for it yet, but it does operate kind of separately as the funding stream is kind of passed through from the feds. So it's kind of operated a little bit differently. So there isn't a formal process that it goes through with the board. These are all sitting members of this in good standings, and a recommendation came directly from the transportation manager, the transit manager, Scott Chansey. So that's the process.
Mr. Chair, I said that for the year of 2013, but this is actually for a 4-year term to
Four-year
expire
term.
January 2017. So please amend my motion to reflect the term expiration of January 9th, 2017.
We're going to take your motion as approval of Resolution 2013-001.
Thank you.
So it's correct as presented. So with nothing further, please call the roll.
Commissioner Heck?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker?
Yes.
Commissioner Hare?
Yes, motion carries 3-0. Are there any other matters that should properly come before the board at this time? Seeing none, matters from commissioners. Commissioner Heck.
No. I was going to ask for a special party or something.
Heck none.
No, heck no, no.
See that joke never getting old. Commissioner Walker?
Nothing additional tonight.
Okay. I have a short email that I sent out to all staff dated Friday, January 4th. Most of the 2 other commissioners that were serving on the board prior had left by that time. I'm probably not going to, they're not in the room tonight, but I think it's appropriate that I'll read this into the record as part of my comments from commissioners. On behalf of Josephine County, I would like to thank both Commissioners Reedy and Haugen for their willingness to serve. Their leadership has been invaluable in helping pilot through the challenges we've faced over the last several years. As a freshman commissioner, I particularly appreciate their extensive experience, history, and steadfastness. We are certainly not out of the woods yet, but I feel we have made great progress to work through the turmoil of the past. You've played a significant role in bringing together a cohesive team that will provide a great foundation to usher in a long-term solution to our funding crisis. I hope that both of you will continue to play a leadership role in working to put our county back on track. Best of luck in your future, and utmost respect and gratitude, Chair Simon Hare. So that's my parting words to 2 good friends that I've made over the last year and plus, and they will be missed. But I feel very good about the commissioners that have replaced them, and we've got a solid team here, and I think team is the operative word. Mm-hmm. We all bring different facets to the table, and it's going to be a real pleasure to serve with you 2 over the next 2 years, so I'm looking forward to it. Stick around, don't go anywhere like we've experienced in the past. Can't go anywhere. We're going to lock you up. So with nothing further, the board is adjourned at 5:46.